evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Tonight is January 16, 2025. Regular town voting meeting. Please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Sorry we had a little late start. We did have a workshop before this meeting, which those at home are watching will be able to see that workshop as well. And thank you to all those who attended. It was a good meeting. Just a few comments before we begin. Hope everyone's well. Hope everybody had a very happy, healthy Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, New Year's. Hope everyone's doing very well. We had our yearly swearing-in ceremony here at Town Hall on January 2nd. Our Town Justice, Rick Romig, performed the oaths for New York State Assemblyman A.J. Bepan, our Town Justice, Brian Rudner, and our continuing Fire Commissioner, Steve Dixon. We had a very nice crowd. We had our East Fishkill Police Department Honor Guard, presented the colors. We had our Dutchess County Sheriff here, who led us in the pledge to our flag, and we had a lot of elected officials from all over the county came to see the swearing in, which was very nice, and a lot of residents too. I'd like to thank my assistant Gina Grippo and our rec director Christine Selbach for doing all the setup. Thank you to Tiramisu Restaurant for all the refreshments, and of course congratulations to all the elected officials who were sworn in, and best of luck to them. And make sure, a little note to our assemblyman, make sure we get more money this year, please. Our last town board meeting of the year was held at the Brinkerhoff Historical House right on Kensington Drive. It was at the schoolhouse. Very nice it was. Thank you so much to East Fishkill Historical Society. They were such gracious hosts, and it was great to highlight what a wonderful site we have there. Many different historic buildings on that one site, and they keep it impeccable. It's wonderful to see. Please, in the summer and spring and summer coming up soon, they have many events. Please get out and visit them. So thank you again to the Historical Society, and we'll have to do that again soon. Had another meeting with our Hopewell Beacon Rail Trail Committee. They discussed the planning process for this new proposed Beacon Hopewell Rail Trail. It's going to be a very long haul, very long to get this going, mostly because of the Route 9 corridor. The trail will go over Route 9 in Fishkill, and that's a wide span there, so it's very challenging. Also, once they go over that, if people know the area, there's Montfort Brothers construction there. They sell block and all that sort of construction materials. It would go through that area, so it's very challenging to come up with a plan. Also, the crossing on Route 82 right here by Palin Road and Fishkill Road, they are identifying those as big issues to overcome. So these costs for these crossings are going to be very, very substantial, and I'm a little worried about it because they haven't indicated a funding source yet. They haven't come up, New York State, with any money yet for this plan, but I guess the consultants say that comes a little bit further in the planning process, and they haven't gotten there, but they will be addressing that. Obviously, they have to, but they are very impressed with the town of East Fishkill, how far we have come and how far we are going, taking advantage of the rail trail. We've done a lot more than other municipalities to take advantage of this rail trail with our Depot Park, the Junction Loop that we're also trying to expand even more. The consultants were very, very happy that we are trying to incorporate all these different projects with the rail trail. So other municipalities who are involved on this Beacon Hopewell Rail Trail Committee are taking those ideas, trying to do them in their municipalities as well. So thank you to our depot. Thank you to the Junction Loop, all the people who helped plan that, get that together, our highway superintendent who helps out with that too. And thank you to Dutchess County Planning for moving forward this new rail trail. When this is complete, who knows, I don't know how many years it'll take to complete, but East Fishkill, right there at the Hopewell Depot, this will be the hub of all rail trails because that will be where the new Beacon Hopewell Rail Trail starts or ends, whatever way you're coming from, where the Dutchess County Rail Trail starts and where the New York State Rail Trail starts. So it converges all at the depot. So very exciting for our town, that's for sure. I attended the Dutchess County Regional Chamber of Commerce's annual holiday contact breakfast. Great breakfast as usual. They have all different choirs, school choirs come and perform all different holiday music, which was very nice. And the contact breakfasts are great because it's all about business owners coming to connect with one another, with government officials, how we can help local businesses, and that's the whole idea. Dutchess County Regional Chamber of Commerce does a great job fighting for the small businesses, and us elected officials can do whatever we can to help them, because a lot of times our town board, we have a little to do with small businesses, right, with their issues. There's a lot of problems and red tape with New York State and the federal government. I know I was a small business owner for 25 years here in town, and I wish that we can, as a town board, do more for our small businesses, but that's why I'm happy to see organizations like the Chamber of Commerce fight for them. So thank you to the Chamber for all they do. I attended the monthly Dutchess County Supervisors and Mayors Association meeting. It was up in Pleasant Valley this past month. It's our kickoff meeting of the year. We had Dutchess County Emergency Services come down, give us a presentation about the county executive's new plan for helping the strain emergency services that we have here in the county. Pretty much throughout New York State and pretty much throughout the country, it's all the same. Ambulances, services throughout the county, country, state, they're all very strained. We don't have enough to meet all the demands. So Dutchess County has come up with a plan to help ease that burden. They have identified 4 different locations throughout the county where they have an extra ambulance where they post them, and when our ambulance or another town's ambulances are on calls and there's a call for service, that extra ambulance would go into service into that area. So it's not a fix-all by any means, but merely a Band-Aid, and that's what the county executive said from the beginning. We know that this isn't a fix. We know that this is a larger issue to tackle, but she is determined to help, and this is actually helping. With just a few weeks into 2025, they do have some data. Dutchess County 911 has showed us the data where it has been helping ease the burden. So I'm happy to see that as the year progresses and we see more and more how the plan is going to work out. I will give obviously an update to the public about that. But thank you to Dutchess County Emergency Services, and thank you to the Mayors and Supervisors Association. They do a good job. We all help one another wherever we can. And as far as myself and the organization, I will continue to be the local government chairperson for the Supervisors and Mayors Association and a member of the Dutchess County EDAC, which is the Economic Development Advisory Council for the county executive. So thank you to them. I attended a meeting with the Dutchess County Community Development Advisory Council. All the mayors and supervisors attended this. I am a sitting member of that committee as well for Dutchess County. They are now administering or starting to take applications for the CDBG grants, which is a Community Development Block Grant Program. It was discussed last year to have an informational session with all the mayors and supervisors in the county, because a lot of towns, believe it or not, smaller ones and villages don't apply to this program, and they want to see more variety of towns and municipalities making applications. And a lot of times some of these smaller towns or villages don't apply because they don't have the personnel, they don't have the staff to help them with these applications. They're very tedious applications. You have to present a lot of information. So Dutchess County Planning has said they're going to assist those who do not know how to put forward these applications or the correct information for them. So that's very nice to hear. One important thing to remember remember is that these community development block grants, they're designed to assist with the development of projects that primarily benefit low to moderate income residents. So unfortunately, East Fishkill, we don't fit the bill that well for that, but we are reviewing to see what areas of town we can help and make application for CDBG. We did try to do some income surveys through different areas of town throughout the years. Income surveys are very difficult to accomplish because we don't get a lot of participation with the residents with that. So it's hard for us to meet the requirement of low to moderate income. East Fishkill is more of a affluent community, but wherever we can apply for this, we will, and I've been reviewing this with our grant directors. I was a guest speaker at the East Fishkill Rotary 2 weeks ago, at the beginning of the year. Wonderful group Rotary as well. Great organization, just like the Regional Chamber of Commerce. They're there for the small business. They fight for them. They do whatever they can. Our Rotary is a great organization. They do so much in our community, help out all different events that we are doing. They actually have commenced a new Rotary Park. I made a mention of this at our last town board meeting, right by the entrance of Acme Plaza. They were able to get that small little property right next to Chase Bank, and we'll be, as people can see, we put up a new 80-foot flagpole. So it's going to be really nice once it's completed. Thank you to our town engineer for assisting Rotary with that, looking at the plans, making sure that that is a sound plan to put up an 80-foot flagpole. We don't want that thing falling down, that's for sure. But in all my comments, I'm just joking about that, but Rotary does a great job, and these are the sort of things that they want to do, make our community better and better, so thank you to them. And my last comment is, what I started with was that we had a town board workshop, 5 o'clock tonight, right before this meeting, and it was very well attended. We wanted to make sure that some of the public understands the processes that the planning board goes through. We have two projects right now in front of the planning board at the very, very beginning stages. One is for Woodland Estates, which is across the street from Town Hall, and another one off of Lime Kiln Road called Treetops. One industrial, one residential project, two different, but both in front of the planning board. And we got a lot of comments and emails and questions and calls from public residents about it, so we said, let's have a little meeting so we could discuss what the process is, and it was a packed house. I'm very, very happy to see the residents engaging with us, taking part to make sure that the best is done here in East Fishkill. We're residents. We care about this community as well, this town board. We're here for you. We want to answer all your questions, so please, like I always say, call us. We're here. Our phone numbers are on our website, our cell phones. You can reach us at any time. Send us an email, a call, whatever. We will get your answers for you and help you out whatever we can. So thank you all. Mr. Clerk, you want to call the roll?
Councilman Arco?
Present.
Councilman Marinero?
Present.
Councilman Franco?
Present.
Councilperson Flores?
Present.
Supervisor D'Alessandro?
Thank you, Present. We have our December 12th, 2024 minutes. Were there any changes, alterations? No. Do I have a motion to approve the December 12th, 2024 minutes?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's approved, thank you. I do have tonight, I have to give I have a little presentation from Hudson Valley Engineer Associates. They are our traffic consultants. We are in the midst of doing a sidewalk project on Route 52, and we need for them to give us a little overview to the town board. I'm sorry I didn't put that on the agenda tonight. How are you tonight?
Good, Nick, thanks.
Thank you for joining us.
All right, so I'm Brendan Fitzgerald from Hudson Valley Engineering. This is Jack Wharton. He's managing this project. This is the Route 52 Sidewalk Improvement Project. It's a federally funded project. It's part of the Transportation Alternatives Program, which is also called TAP. It's a $1.7 million construction project. It's the funding is split 80%, 20%, 80% federal, 20% local share. Route 52, as everyone knows, has been going through, certainly been going through a renaissance. It's been sort of an evolution. What this project is going to do is just fill in all the gaps. It started out with just some sidewalk around the school and Archway Plaza. Then some of the newer developments in the corridor, Orthopedic Associates, Flores Mobile, they went in, they put some sidewalks along their frontage. The town-sponsored project of the roundabout and building a new drop-off area at John Jay that put in a bunch more sidewalk and connected up some of the missing links. Then one of the warehouse developments, Stellantis went in. They're putting sidewalk along their frontage and some more, another spur up Patriot Way. The DOT also had them put some sidewalk on the opposite side of the street in front of Key Bank. It's a unique corridor. It's a blend of commercial and warehouse development. It's got, with one big important asset there, which is John Jay High School. And one of the unique things of John Jay High School is that some of the students are allowed to park all the way on the west end of the corridor at the soccer complex. So pedestrian safety and having good access, well-lit access, serviceable access from that soccer complex in Corporate Woods Park all the way up to the school is important. So this project is looking to fill in all of those gaps. And what we're going to do is Jack's just going to take a quick through our preliminary plans and show you where the gaps that we're talking about. Some of the general things of the corridor we're going to put, right now the students are utilizing the crossing at the roundabout fairly extensively, but we have noticed that some of the students just want to cross the road whenever they get an opportunity. So we thought it was important to try to put another crossing closer or adjacent to the soccer complex and the parking that's allowed there. So those are a couple of features of the project. We're also looking to expand the lighting along sort of the southern part of the corridor where there isn't a lot of spillover from the developments, and light the area from the soccer complex all the way up to the high school. And that's, again, another, at the end of this project, we're looking to have sidewalk on both sides of 52, from Corporate Parks Drive all the way up to and connecting to where the Stone Ridge Commons development is. Stone Ridge Commons was a development that was approved a while back. As part of that development, even though it hasn't been constructed yet, they're going to be required to put sidewalks on their frontage. It goes up past the power lines there and will connect into adjacent to their property line. All right, so I'm just going to let Jack give you a quick tour of our preliminary set of plans, and then we'll answer any questions you guys might have.
All right, so as Brendan mentioned, we're going to fill in all of the missing gaps from Corporate Park Drive up to the proposed Stone Ridge development. Starting here on the western side of the corridor at Corporate Park Drive, we're going to pick up and install new 5-foot wide concrete sidewalks on the south side. This connects from Corporate Park Drive up to where the Stellantis development started their new sidewalk network. You can see here, this is the mid-block crossing that Brendan referred to. Some of the students at John Jay park in this soccer complex every morning, and we do want to provide as many crossings, safe, accessible crossings for the students as we can. So we are in conversations with the DOT right now to install a mid-block crossing in the vicinity of this parking lot. This location hasn't been 100% nailed down and approved by the DOT yet. We're still in the midst of these conversations, but I think it's likely that we'll get a crosswalk installed here. We will look to install what are called rectangular rapid flashing beacons. It's a pedestrian-activated push-button sign. And when a pedestrian pushes a button, you have these flashing lights that alert motorists that there's somebody looking to cross the road.
Does it work?
They work. They do.
And you're familiar with them because they're right out in front of Town Hall.
Make sure.
Yeah, no, studies have shown that they've been very effective and actually one of the most cost-effective ways of improving pedestrian safety for crossing.
And I think it's particularly important here, especially in the winter months when students are crossing and it's still not quite very bright, or not very bright out yet, that flashing light will really alert motorists that somebody is in the crosswalk and looking to make a crossing. We're also going to install sidewalks and clean up the frontage of this soccer complex. to get pedestrians into, or funnel them into the parking lot where we feel they should be going to enhance safety. Picking up at the soccer complex, Stellantis already has installed sidewalks on the south side of the road. We're going to fill in the missing gap from the soccer complex to Rothel Drive. It's a very short distance, but it does cross a commercial driveway, so we will redo those sidewalks. Stellantis development put sidewalks in front of Key Bank, so we don't need to do anything there. However, on the south side of the road, we are going to install lighting along their entire frontage, all the way up to the roundabout.
And we're looking to install the same style and architecture of the lighting that's out there for the roundabout.
And then there's a missing gap of sidewalks from the roundabout to John Jay High School on the south side of the road. We will fill that in with 5-foot wide sidewalks. The intention is to utilize as much of the existing curb that's out there. There is a small stretch right in front of the school where the curb is non-existent or non-compliant anymore. We will replace that with a traditional 6-inch barrier curb to help define the roadway.
Because, sometimes people ride their bikes on the sidewalks. They don't know they have to ride their bikes on the road. I see Bobby Grasso sometimes. He's on the sidewalk right here by Acme on his bicycle.
Right. So the sidewalk network will continue all the way to the school driveway and wrap around and tie into their property. There's already a signalized pedestrian crossing at the school. We will tie into that and make enhancements as needed. We are proposing to put a new center median raised island at the school to help define the crossing, have a visual obstruction in the road that it gives a motorists the appearance that it's a narrower corridor, and that has been proven to slow vehicular speeds. It also provides a safe refuge for pedestrians, so they only have to cross one lane at a time. Past the school, we are going to construct a short segment on the north side of the road from the school driveway up to the proposed Stone Ridge development, and that'll allow for a future expansion into those developments. There is a stream crossing under 52 in this vicinity. We do need to extend the culvert to carry the new sidewalk network and put new guide rail in. And that's it of the limit.
Even in that area, we've observed a number of students that live back in that Stone Ridge development. They actually walk up the side of 52 and then head down some pathways on the power lines to get to their houses. So this will at least get them up to a better location and a safe way to get up there.
Brendan, do you have a timeline as far as when we may go out to bid?
Yeah, so right now, we have sent in the project proposal to the DOT. We're sort of on our second iteration with them. The crosswalk is the primary thing that we still have to get their approval with. They'll give us design approval, and then after that, it's just a matter of doing final design. We anticipate this job to be out into construction next season.
Next season, as in 25, still 25?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, this season, I'm sorry. I forget that it's January already, right? This season, 2025, yes. We're gonna try to get it out there as quickly as we can. All right, that's what we had for you, but if anyone has any questions or?
No, very good. Scott, any questions, comments?
No, I think we're doing a great job.
Yeah.
Really getting that area all, fully pedestrian friendly, so long time coming.
Yeah, it is a long time coming, and so the public at home understands. Sometimes they see we put these sidewalks in when a project comes in, it's like a sidewalk to nowhere. Well, eventually, we do connect them. It's expensive. Sidewalks are very expensive. We're lucky we got this federally backed grant to pay for it. But that's why we try to let the applicants for these projects put it in right away so it's there, it's in, and we don't have that expense then later. All right, thank you, Hudson
Very
Valley,
welcome.
thank you. Any comments, board, for Hudson Valley engineers? No? All
right. Thank you,
Thanks, guys, appreciate it.
Glad to hear you guys are helping on that side.
Okay.
That sounded like I got a bunch of ideas for that.
Yeah, okay.
So we do have an addition to the agenda, which I will do at the end, which is to appoint a part-time police dispatcher. And courtesy of the floor, time of the meeting for any residents, anybody to speak on any agenda items or any general town issues, please come up and use the podium. Okay, nobody to speak. Resolutions, number one. Oh, Mr. Grasso.
He's back.
Good evening.
I'm sorry, I almost missed you there.
Right. Nick, there was a little bit of talk about the pedestrian walkway and how they got the button there for the crossing and...
Want to put that in Hillside Lake?
Well, there's a pedestrian walkway behind my house, and there's a stop sign that nobody stops for. I'm wondering if that stop sign becomes a flashing stop sign, because I heard him say that the flashing, it worked pretty good. So maybe we need a flashing stop sign there. Seriously. It doesn't end over there, Nick.
That's a push-button flashing stop.
Whatever. No,
So
seriously.
you're going to go press the button every minute
No,
over there?
on a serious note, even now in the winter, there's people that walk up that road, and furthermore, I don't know what the problem is this year. Every day, at least 1 or 2 times a day, cars are coming up the one-way street. Okay, they're coming up the back road, on Lake Road. And so now you got cars coming down Lake Road the right way. It's amazing, because I could see it on my screen. It's amazing how they just never, the timing is never there. They just don't crash. But it's,
So you have security cameras that check that out? You see it?
yeah, I watched that corner pretty good.
So you should just have the police, send the police to all the camera shots of all the cars going through the stop sign.
Well, speaking about that, maybe they could put a camera there. No, seriously.
Well, we could hook it up to your electric, though.
You could hook it up to my electric. But we need to do something there.
Well, as you know, Bob, Mr. Grasso, all the roads are in charge of by the highway superintendent. You can speak to him.
See, the way he
can
passes
discuss
that off.
I've had many discussions over the last summer.
And the speed bump, I seen the speed bump in that picture over there near John Jay High School. There's a speed bump over there, and we need a speed bump where I'm
You've
talking about.
spoken about the flashing sign. I don't know how well that would go over in a residential neighborhood with
Yeah.
your neighbors
I think
there.
the
but-
speed bump would be better.
Well, I
Okay.
think you should have further
All right,
discussions with the
I'll
highway
talk to him
superintendent.
about it.
Because they're his roads, they're not ours.
And one last thing, I know that, I kind of pick at stupid things sometimes, but maybe somebody could speak to the county. You drive down a lot of these roads, county roads, even town roads, and you got big, heavy branches that are leaning over the roads. And I don't know if it's just me.
We're on Hillside Lake Road?
No, all over.
Well,
Hillside
if
Lake
you have
Road.
locations,
They're all over.
very fortunately, the highway superintendent again is here
Yeah.
to take those concerns to the county.
It's not even the county roads. That's why I'm saying maybe somebody has a little influence to speak to the county. They really need a campaign to go around, and all of these branches that are overhanging roads, it's inevitable that somebody's going to get hurt one day. They need a campaign to take care of this. It just, like what's going on with these wildfires because of the brush was never attended to.
Well, listen, I'm not disagreeing with you. Yeah, for safety reasons,
Yeah.
they should be trimming these branches. But there's 2 things. Number 1, you can talk to him, he could call the county. Number 2,
Okay,
you can go to the county meetings and speak. There's a public session just like this.
Okay.
And say, why not county-wide? Isn't
Yeah.
there this going on?
Yeah, you know what? I wish everybody would take notice in their travels about all of these branches. But like I made mention to somebody, maybe you don't want to take notice, because when you do, you see how vulnerable you are as you're driving.
Well, people are on the phones, they don't even have time to look where they're going anymore, right?
All right.
The county
Thanks,
seems a
Nick.
bit slow
Thanks.
in reacting on a lot of these things. I know I had issues, and the highway super can attest to that. I've been calling countless times about Lime Kiln Road, I Park Boulevard, to have it cleaned, and it took far too long for it to finally be cleaned. And I didn't think they did it that great of a
What, I
job either.
missed the beginning, Tom. What, branch? I missed the beginning of what
No,
you
just
said.
the growth on it. It looked
Growth
horrible.
in the median.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, it was terrible. And we called the county, it's their road, and I don't know how many months they
You know, it's a
took.
big county. I'm talking about all over the place. They really
Yeah.
need to do something, start doing something all over the place. I see it, you know, once in a while, they'll do something here and there, but this is something that really should be looked at. And if you look at it, like I said, when you're driving, you're going to see how vulnerable we all are.
Or just a call to the county executive, I mean, the county legislator, Steve Caswell or John Metzger. They'll
do
bring
that.
the message up.
I will do that.
Actually, Metzger, I think, is on the DPW committee, so that's the committee you
Okay.
want.
I'll do that, and I'll bother the
Anytime,
highway
Bob.
superintendent.
Yeah, bother him.
What do you got?
It is tree
He
trimming.
does nothing all day like me.
Trimming
He's
time
not
now.
like me.
Winter time is when we do a lot of tree trimming. I'm sure the county does the same.
No.
So,
See? Anybody else wish to speak on general town issues or anything on the agenda tonight? Please just come up and use the podium. No? Okay. Resolutions. Here we go. Oh, I do have a receipt and file, I'm sorry. Mr. Clerk, I'd like to receive and file this. We do have a donation, a $10,000 donation from Ms. Ruth Strid to be used exclusively for the East Fishkill Senior Program. Our controller has restricted these funds on our books just to make sure that they are used strictly for our East Fishkill seniors. Lovely lady, she had very good experience with our East Fishkill Senior Program, and she wanted to donate this $10,000 towards the programs for the seniors, so it was wonderful to have, wonderful to see. If you want to pass that down to the clerk. So thank you, Ms. Strid. Okay, resolutions. Number one, Councilman Franco.
Mr. Supervisor, I move that we designate Tompkins Mahopac Bank as the official depository of the town and authorize use of other banks within the town based on competitive interest rates. Further, I move that the supervisor and deputy for administration be sole signers of town accounts and that any check of $500,000 or more be countersigned by the town clerk.
Thank you, Councilman. So I'm sorry, I should have made a mention, tonight is our reorganization meeting. Some of the resolutions we do every single year for the first meeting of the year by New York town law. We have to make sure that we implement all of these. They may sound redundant, but they are necessary and by New York State town law. Okay, thank you, Councilman. Do I have a motion? Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried, thank you. Number two, Councilman Marinello.
Mr. Supervisor, I move that we appoint the following as chairperson of the various boards: John Heikman, Planning Board; Norma Drummond, Zoning Board; Brent Felweg, Conservation Advisory Board; Paul Pesavento, Architectural Review Board; Rich Yulee, Recreation Boards; Deborah McCaffrey, Ethics Board; and David Palin, Fire Advisory Board.
Thank you, Councilman. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All our chairs to our boards, thank you all very much for all the hard work you do. I know it's time away from your families and leisure time, but the town does appreciate it. We do desperately need your services, so thank you for all you do. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried, thank you. Oh, Councilman Marinero, I should have put in the resolution, it's your job to call Ms. McCaffrey to let her know that continues as the chair. Councilman Arco, number three.
Mr. Supervisor, I move that we confirm the following town board liaisons to various departments. Councilman Franco, Recreation Department, Veterans Committee, Justice Court. Councilman Marinero, Police Department, Economic Development, Assessor's Office. Councilman Arco, Emergency Services, Building Safety, Zoning Board. Councilwoman Flores, Highway Department, Town Clerk, School Districts.
Thank you, Councilman. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried, thank you.
Mr. Supervisor, I
Yes.
just wanted to say something
Yes.
that was brought up to our attention before by the members of the community regarding Planning Board and the other boards.
Yes.
A lot of these boards are appointed because the town lawyer mentioned it before, it's a requirement by the state.
Yes.
And I just wanted to know, the community to know that a lot of these people are volunteering their time.
Yes.
And a lot of them are taking this job really seriously. It's a lot of work involved, many hours of looking over plans, and many times they take a drive through the community to really look at properties, and they work with our local town engineer and others, planners, to really ask questions and do the due diligence, so.
A lot of time, you're right. Yeah, a lot of time.
It's just not something that it's taken lightly, but I think that the community needs to be aware of that.
Thank you for mentioning it. Resolution 4, Councilwoman Flores.
Mr. Supervisor, I move that we authorize the supervisor to sign any personal service agreements for 2025 within budgeted amounts.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Number 5, Councilman Franco.
Mr. Supervisor, I move that we appoint Brown & Brown Insurance, Dutchess County agent, as the town's broker of record for health insurance, and Marshall & Sterling as brokers for the town's insurance needs for the calendar year 2025.
Thank you, Councilman. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Comptroller, when are we usually due to put that out for RFP? We do various years, right?
Yeah, we put feelers out for like the different health insurance plans to test the market, and if it looks like it's favorable to find different rates, then we go ahead and request proposals.
Gotcha.
So I would say on average, it happens approximately every 4 years.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Or usually whenever there is a big insurance increase.
Yeah, that's frequently what triggers the looking, yes.
All right, number 6, Councilman Marinello.
Mr. Supervisor, I move we authorize the supervisor to sign all intermunicipal agreements and contracts for budgeted items in 2025.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you. Councilman Arco, number 7.
Mr. Supervisor, I move we authorize the town clerk to advertise for bids for townwide paving for 2025.
Thank you, Councilman. Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion on this one. Highway Soup, you ready with a list?
We have a list, and the town engineer and myself are scheduled to get together next Wednesday and go over it.
Okay, excellent. Because before you know it,
It's
it'll
going
be
to be here. It'll be here before we know it. Can't wait.
So
Can't wait to get past winter.
So let me ask you, last year with our paving, our bids that we did for the blacktopping, that worked out best? That worked out better than years?
I think it did.
Prior years?
Yeah, it worked out well.
Excellent.
Yeah, we got a lot done last year,
Good.
last paving season.
Yeah, we did. We
Yeah.
got a lot of paving last year.
A lot of catching up.
We're getting there. We're starting. With everybody's hard work, it's paying off.
We voted? Yeah, okay. Number 8, Councilwoman Flores?
We didn't do the aye.
Oh, we didn't. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Number 8, Councilwoman Flores?
Mr. Supervisor, I move we adopt the fee schedule for 2025 for building, planning, zoning, and engineering departments and water and sewer permits department.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion. So if you go through, I went through this with the engineering department. Basically, there were no changes to any residential, mostly industrial fees were going up. We had some residential fees go down for the planning board, for special permit fees for solar, and also for cell phone tower upgrade for application fee if it was on residential property. But for cell towers for commercial and industrial, they all went up. And let me see. Oh, I do have a change. We have multiple family units, if everybody sees on page 3 for planning board. we have multiple family units. 1 to 6 units, 1,000 a bedroom, 7+ units, 20, what does that say? 2,500.
2,250.
So now, we're going to change it that I propose 1 to 6 units remain at $1,000 a bedroom, and 7 units or more, $2,250 a bedroom. And the other change was for commercial, no increase to the footprint for site work, for their fee to go up 500 and 1,000 for escrow. We have seen that the escrows unfortunately have been increasing. Also, industrial fees for site plan fees to go to 2,000 plus 25 cents a square foot. And amend the site plan fees as well for the different square footages. So I have a motion and a second as amended. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried, thank you. Okay, number 9, Councilman Franco.
Mr. Supervisor, I move we appoint Danielle Keenan as camp director at a seasonal salary of $11,000.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion? Councilman?
She does a great job. Looking forward to working with her again.
Yeah, and usually we do hire our rec director in the beginning of the year because there's a lot of pre-work to be done. So the seasonal salary really hasn't changed, and the only thing that's changed is that we have them do more work come the beginning of the year. But she does a great job, she really does. I'm only joking that about the salary, but she does a wonderful job, and it's best that she works with our rec directors to prepare the camp.
They work well
because
together.
We have a large camp to make sure it's prepared for. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried, thank you. Number 10, Councilman Marinero.
Mr. Supervisor, I move we authorize declaring certain property to be surplus and authorize auction of the same.
Thank you, Councilman. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? It's mostly 5 modems, old modems, that have been replaced at the police department. Highway surplus list, there's, it's all listed, 2 plastic tanks, 4 Frick snow plows, 11 foot, some older vehicles.
I have 12 items altogether, Nick, that will be
Yeah. Trailers, what, these all rotted out, what are they?
They're old stuff we have replaced. Councilman Arco and I had worked on for the last year together, getting some of our stuff updated, and we have. So stuff that, you know, is harder to get parts for, some things you can't get parts for, we're putting it out to bid.
Okay, so highway department stuff, half the police department is surplus. Oh. Chief, that was a joke.
I got it.
Okay, any comments or questions from the board? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried, thank you. Number 11, Councilman Arco.
Mr. Supervisor, I move we award the sidewalk snow removal bid to Negri Outside Remodeling Specialists Incorporated in the amount of $37,000.
Okay, thank you, Councilman. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Highway soup?
So far,
Hard to find people to do this.
it is, you know.
We ran into trouble to
We did.
find the people to do this.
We did, and, you know, I went to look at a few different, I did a few different inspections with a few different companies, and Negri has what we need. We had to make a couple of corrections on some things, like some safety lights and stuff like that, but he has got everything now up to snuff, and so far, it's been, so far, so good.
Okay, good, and he was the lowest bidder.
And this was removed from the agenda last month and not voted on last month, and it's
Right.
on tonight.
Tom's
Right,
correct.
yes, that's
Right.
right, yes.
And so this is changing the contract that we had previously from a T&M to fixed price, which helps us manage our costs better.
Right.
But it also puts a little more risk on the contractor, so it's important that we have good clarity and understanding of the requirements, and you're comfortable, based on your conversations with Negri, that there's
I am,
clarity on...
and you saw some of the emails back and forth as well, right? Correct, Marion? Yes. I'm comfortable with him. So far, so good. He has made corrections to some of his safety equipment, like the beacon lights and things like that.
Okay.
Do we have bonds or performance bonds with them that if, say, we have a crazy winter and he spends double the contract value?
I don't think that we put that in place.
We don't, for bids of this nature, it hasn't been required. I think most communities find if you do request it, it drives the cost up or eliminates many of the bidders. So.
It was hard to get bidders as it was.
Yes.
So as a future discussion, what if this company or any other company fails to do this? Do you have a backup plan?
We're the backup.
We're the backup plan.
Well-
Highway recreation, I would have to take some
Well,
of
what
the
the law-
recreation crew and,
Manny, what
Put
the
them on
law
that.
provides, if a bidder fails to perform, you can then replace that bidder, and if there's a cost differential, you would have a cause of action against them to recover that money for the taxpayers.
Right.
You do have the equipment, or you would have to go out and buy it?
No, some equipment we don't have.
right.
No, because of the width of
A lot of equipment we don't have. We're not equipped.
Unfortunately, we'll be out there with shovels in the event that we got,
Snow blowers and,
you know, in
Small
a
skid steer.
position.
They're ready.
I put on the shovel, I put on the gloves, and
I bring your boots and you bring the shovel.
I do it if I have to.
All right.
You guys are going to have to come out there with me.
They kidding or what?
I'll use a few pounds, lose a few pounds.
That was funny.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried, thank you. Councilwoman Flores, number 12.
Mr. Supervisor, I move we authorize a joint public hearing with the Planning Board for an application for an economic development special permit for a lot at I-Park.
Wonderful. Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion. So this will be January 30th, a joint public hearing with the Planning Board, with our board, Town Board, and for the Town Board's purposes, it is only for the special reuse permit on the industrial sites that when we did the subdivision at I-Park, that was built into the law that they needed to get a special reuse permit for every project. So as far as the Town Board's concerned, that's what we will listen for, and then the Planning Board will continue on their own, at their own meetings, scheduled meetings, to hear about their site plan review, just to be clear. We've had these before. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried, thank you.
Who seconded that?
Marinaro.
Marinaro. Okay.
What was that, 12? Councilman Franco, 13?
Mr. Supervisor, I move we authorize setting a dangerous property owners hearing for March 27th, 2025 at 6 p.m. to address issues with respect to 469 and 477 Route 376 and 483 Route 376.
Thank you, Councilman. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? The town engineer like to make a comment?
Not particularly.
No, we have a memo from the engineer.
These two properties have been determined to be dangerous structures. The
Yes.
property owner was given
Multiple
time
notifications.
to fix the property, either secure it or demolish it. They failed to do so. The next step in the process is they have to be afforded the opportunity to come in and address the town board to see if you're willing to agree to whatever their plan is, or in absence thereof, you can enter an order to demolish the buildings, and the cost of which is then leaned back on their property taxes.
Okay. Very good. That is set for March 27th. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried, thank you. Number 14, Councilman Marinello.
Mr. Supervisor, I move we appoint John Greenan as a permanent member of the Planning Board with a term to expire on December 31st, 2026.
No, I'm sorry, appoint John Giovagnoli. John Greenan, he
Retired.
resigned. Yes,
let's amend
I'm sorry
that.
about that. They're both Johns. So John Greenan was on our planning board, he has resigned. John Giovanoli, he is our alternate, which now will be a permanent planning board member. Sorry about that.
Okay, so as amended,
Thank you, Councilman.
Yeah, I got it.
Yep. All in favor, say aye. I mean, do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Luckily, we have our chairman of our planning board here tonight, sir. Thank you. No problems with Mr. Giovanoli? No, he's done an excellent job. Excellent.
I did.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. There you go, Chairman. Number 15, Councilman Arco.
Mr. Supervisor, I move we designate the Southern Dutchess News as the official newspaper of the town and the Poughkeepsie Journal as the alternate official newspaper.
Thank you, Councilman. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
aye.
Opposed? Motion carried, thank you. Southern Dutchess is much cheaper, right, Clerk? Substantially?
Substantially.
Yeah.
There's only 2 people to read it, though.
That's not true. I read it all the time.
But under state law, the newspaper has to be published within the town or the county, and the Southern Dutchess News is the only one that's a general circulation that meets that criteria. The Poughkeepsie Journal's official address is not in the Dutchess County.
Oh, very good.
Okay, so,
What happens in the event, say, Southern Dutchess News goes out of business?
Then we have to ask the state legislature to fix it. I think they're talking about allowing an online notification process, things like that, but they haven't amended the law yet. It's very antiquated, very limiting what you can get into.
New York State knows so well, don't they, everything? Okay, thank you. Number 16, Councilwoman Flores.
Mr. Supervisor, I move we acknowledge the hiring of Joseph Valaro as a seasonal wingman in the Highway Department.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Sue?
Tommy.
He's there, he comes in.
On time?
Like I said, you know, on time. Again, we could always use a few more, if any young
Yes, all those at home watching, please, you have some young adults at home, instead of having them play video games, have them come and work part-time at the Highway Department. We need wingmen, seasonal wingmen, please, please.
retirees.
Let them come out. Do I have a second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried, thank you. Okay, number 17, Councilman Franco.
Mr. Supervisor, I move we reject all bids for the Phillips Road at Route 216 realignment project.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion. So we would have loved to get this project done, but we don't have the funding. And it's very costly, and we're going to have to try to get another crack at the apple. We did on Dutchess County, what's the name of that committee, Mark DeBald? Transportation Safety Council meeting, council group. We have identified Phillips Road as a moderate feeder road, is that correct? Which gives it status of federally funded projects. So our hope is, now that we have changed the status of that road, that we can apply for state and federal grants, and we could get the rest of the money that we need to complete this project. So we have to reject these bids and then go out for bid again if we do get the funding.
How much additional funding do we need?
$500,000, round number?
The bid was approximately $900,000. We do have $200,000 from the WCI development, which is Four Corners.
Four Corners.
And I don't know why I had a hard time with that tonight. And another $225,000 from another property on that road. So that's $425 against, but the bids came in much more than we thought.
I mean, if we were closer to, say, 150, maybe 200, perhaps I would have asked the board to relinquish some fund balance towards it, because this is a one-time expense, but $500,000's a lot. $500,000's a lot. and the comptroller had a fit even thinking about it, so I don't want to give him any agita as it is. I have a second.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried, thank you. Number 18, Councilman Marinaro.
Mr. Supervisor, I move we authorize the town clerk to advertise for request for proposal for the town recreation concessions.
Thank you, Councilman.
He
Do I
loves to do that, Peter.
Yeah, do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried, thank you. 19, Councilman Arco.
Mr. Supervisor, I move we authorize the town clerk to advertise for requests for proposals for 2025 brush drop-off.
Thank you, Councilman. Do I have a second?
Second.
Is this usually a 2-year bid?
Yes.
So shouldn't we amend it to say proposals for 2025, 2026 brush drop-off?
We can.
Okay. I'll amend it to say 2025 and 2026 brush drop-off. Do I have a motion for the amendment?
As amended.
In a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. Number 20, Councilwoman Flores.
Mr. Supervisor, I move we authorize the town clerk to advertise for bids for highway equipment and materials for 2025.
Excellent. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? How we doing with our materials at the highway?
Well, every year we go out to bid the same time of year.
No, I know, but how are we doing with our amounts? You taking it easy?
Taking it easy, but we just ordered 1,000 tons of salt to restock our shed, and we've hauled in some more sand because we've had, I think, 6 events totally so far.
All right,
We're going easy, we're going easy.
It's only January 16th. Take it easy, okay?
Tell Mother Nature, you know how that
Very
goes. You know how that goes, Mr. Supervisor.
During work hours, it's always.
It's always at night, right?
In the middle of the night.
Overtime, yeah.
Days.
Good thing the highway superintendent doesn't get overtime.
I'm out there.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. There you go, highway suit.
Thank you.
21, Councilman Franco.
Mr. Supervisor, I move we authorize the town clerk to advertise for bids for a maintenance building at Lime Kiln.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? So this came up several years ago. We did, I think we did a bid for this a few years ago.
And we got a couple of proposals,
tried.
but the prices were really high.
They were so high, I remember. One was like $500,000.
I think the low end was like 200,000.
Yeah, I remember it something in
Right.
the mid-twos, yeah.
So we did a small maintenance building right over here at the property that adjacent to the rec field. And this one will be a little larger, but I think, didn't we get that for like, what, 30,000? No,
That was all in. The actual shed itself was 15,000, something like that.
15,000. So we said, let's put out for bid, maybe that same company will bid again.
Well, what it is, you buy the materials from one company, and we were able to find somebody local who was able to,
Yeah, right, but still, even with that,
Yeah.
we're still far, far, far below the cost.
We cleared the land over there as well. We did the cement work, Scott did the engineering, so we did do a lot of it in-house.
Right. So, or the better. We have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried, thank you. I do have one from the floor. Whereas the East Fishkill Police Department received resignation from our full-time police dispatcher, Nicholas McSorley. We acknowledge McSorley's resignation. Police chief recommends rehiring McSorley as a part-time police dispatcher. And he's appointed to this, he will be now appointed part-time police dispatcher with the pay and benefits according to our CSEA contract. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion? So what happened, chief? What happened to McSorley?
Mr. McSorley would like to continue to go back to school full-time status, so he was aware it would be very difficult for his schedule for full-time employment and full-time classes, so.
Okay, very good. I have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried, thank you. And I do have one from the floor, actually. perhaps after listening to the public at our workshop meeting, I want to propose that we possibly modify our current moratorium, maybe to expand it, possibly. So I make a motion, or I propose that we, at our March 27, 2025 meeting, that's the correct date, correct, clerk?
Yes.
Okay, at 6 PM, hold a public hearing, possibly to modify our townwide building moratorium. Do I have a motion?
Second.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried, thank you. Sorry about that, clerk. So we will revisit the moratorium at a public hearing in March. Okay. We don't have any budget transfers, comments. Police chief, how are you?
I'm okay, Supervisor. Thank you for asking.
What do you got for us?
Unfortunately, I can't always report good news. We are a police department. There was a major arrest that was on Robinson Lane within this past month that we've been questioned about due to the severity of the crime. And I just want to report that unfortunately, crimes do happen even here in East Fishkill, but we do have 28 members here that do everything they can to protect and serve this neighborhood. So the crime that did occur, I want everyone to rest assured that it seems to be an anomaly. There's not drug houses coming into this town, and this seems to be a one-off, and I would not be highly concerned, especially with the police department that backs this town 24/7, 365. So to kind of put that to rest, I wanted to get that out there and let everybody know that this police department and the Dutchess County Drug Task Force does everything they can to lower the drugs, and I think that's been proven. I know you, Supervisor, were just recently at a press conference that the Drug Task Force held that reported overdose deaths decreasing drastically. I believe the number was definitely over 50% within the past year, and that is because that Drug Task Force goes out there every single day and significantly reduces the amount of drugs that are being pushed around the whole county. But I do, again, just want to rest assured everybody that East Fishkill is still a great place to live, and this police department does everything they can to assure that, so.
Thank you, Chief. And just to expand on that, the chief and I attended a press conference at the Dutchess County District Attorney's Office for just that. And the statistic was astounding to me that Dutchess County leads New York State in overdose deaths. Dutchess County. I couldn't believe that. So they pushed forward with the Drug Task Force with a mandate to reduce that, and within, how long was it, 6 months?
Within 6 months, but I believe that was a 2023 figure, not 2024. But still, your point is that it was a drastic within 6 months.
Reduced it by 50%.
Reduction, over 50%. Yeah.
Yeah, amazing.
Just a question regarding that, Chief. Has there been a study why Dutchess County? I mean, I know Westchester is a lot closer to the city.
Well, I know it varies a little with the drugs that are being pushed, who the dealers are, how things are cut. But without a Drug Task Force member being here, I'm pretty positive they did have a study on maybe why that was.
Those were mostly fentanyl deaths, right?
A lot of fentanyl, but unfortunately, there are other drugs within the past year that are rearing their ugly head back that haven't been around for a while. So that is something to be on the watch for as far as meth and actually crack, so, but, yeah.
It's a shame. It's horrible epidemic, the drug dependencies.
Right.
We should be eating more pizza, right, Councilman? Anything else, Chief?
The other things I just want to report on a good note, two of our officers participated with the Shop and a Cop close to Christmas time, and I would like to thank Officer Montagna and Officer Mulaney for they put in their own time to do that and help several families out, so I think that was very nice to them. They deserve a shout out for that, so.
Excellent. Okay, thank you,
That's all I
Chief.
have.
Highway Soup. Made it through another meeting.
Just to touch base on what Mr. Grasso was saying about our dangerous limbs, we are out, we break down the routes by like our snowplow routes, and we also, just so everybody knows, we keep in contact with Wappinger School District, so like the buses that have to get through. If there's any low limbs, my guys report it to us, we go out with the tree crew. Also, you got Royal Karting trucks that are out there. These trucks are on these roads and buses every day. So if we do get low-hanging limb reports, we go right out and take care of them. So dangerous trees, yes, we've been out, this time of the year is where we can't do any paving, so we really attack tree work this time of the year. And just so everybody knows, if anybody sees anything dead or hazardous, please call us at the garage or email us. Our jet vector is out when the temperatures are good. With the new jet vac, we have the boiler on there, so we can actually continue to work within up to like 20 degrees. So we are still continuing with our catch basin cleanouts, looking for pipes that are rotted. And of course, we're out doing pothole patrol every day. So
Those rates.
they're coming down next week.
Okay.
That's what our
Do you want to wait
schedule
for
is.
St. Patrick's Day to take those
We
down?
could just leave them out there for next year if you want. No, they're coming down next week. That's what we do every year,
All
same
right,
time.
Perfect. Thank you, Highway Soup.
Yeah.
I have a couple of blazers I'm going to bring you.
All right, bring me a blazer.
Next one. Councilman Arco, how are you, sir?
I don't know if they'll fit.
Very well, very well. So I have no highway updates because we seem to talk like 2 or 3 times a day, so I'll let him do his update, which he did already. This morning, I handed off to the chief the remaining items Officer Froud needs for his completing his certification as a basic life support trainer. Any help you need with, any organization, New Vance, so on and so forth, please let me know. And we'll make those connections. There are a few projects I'm still working on with you and another police officer that I'm hoping to complete with you this year. On a personal note, I'd like to thank the entire Highway and Police Department for their trust in me, supporting them as town liaison, and the collaborative dialogue we've all had with projects we worked on together. I've learned a lot from all of you and hope that I've contributed to your successes that we expect of you. I believe in my 2 years with Highway and year in police that we've accomplished a lot of cost savings measures.
We definitely did. It was a pleasure having you, Craig.
Look forward to my next liaison assignments. That's it.
Hey, you'll get them back, don't worry. We got to shuffle the deck sometimes.
That's okay. We work with everybody. We all work together.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Marinaro, how's it
So,
going?
so far, so good. On December 30th, I participated in a special meeting with the East Fishkill Fire Commissioners, Assemblyman B. Pan, and myself to discuss and clarify certain disclosures regarding a ladder truck purchased back in 2014, with which truck there was some functioning issues and was consequently returned to the manufacturers. All misunderstandings were resolved, and the community was made aware of all the findings. The East Fishkill Volunteer Fire Department is doing an amazing job serving our community with great tax saving to all of us. The department is constantly seeking volunteers to fill in the various positions, especially the EMS section of that department. On another note, I would like to mention the recent passing of a longtime resident, a Vietnam veteran, and a good friend of mine, Mr. Joe Zingoni. Mr. Zingoni was a legal immigrant from Italy who achieved the American dream. He moved to East Fishkill in 1980 and became a member of the Sons of Italy, where he awarded many scholarships by creating the Italian National Honor Society in the Wappinger School District. I just personally want to thank Mr. Joe Zingoni, and may he rest in peace. That's all I got.
Thank you, Councilman, for that. Councilman Franco?
Town clerk's going to be really happy.
Oh, do you have no comments?
Not much. Veterans and Rec both very quiet. I actually have a question for the town engineer, though, because I've been getting, we had talked about this before, the light on Lime Kiln.
Yes.
That the switch isn't working correctly, whatever it is, because I know I go there about 5:15 in the morning.
Yes.
And it's a red light forever, and there's nobody around.
Yes.
I have had a couple of
Yes.
more constituents
We are
reach out to me.
trying
I know.
desperately with a electrical contractor,
Yes, I know, I just wanted to follow up on
get
that.
them on board. Unfortunately, it's like pulling teeth.
Okay.
Even to get the light replaced that got knocked down. I think that light will go up within the next 2 weeks, and the next step is that signals.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Oh, that's it?
That's it.
Oh, boy, you're fast.
Quiet.
Councilman Flores, how's it going down there?
Going well. First, I want to thank you, Mr. Supervisor, for scheduling the workshop that we had earlier to update not only the board but the public on 2 significant projects. I don't think we can communicate enough, and I think it was very informative. Thank you to our attorney for the clear explanation of the process, but thank you very much. There's a lot of interest, as we heard at that meeting, as well as what we've been hearing about the master plan. We've been working on it for a year now, a little over a year. We had our last committee meeting last week. It's coming together nicely. The theme of the plan is cultivating balance, and it addresses economic prosperity, a healthy environment, and the social well-being and quality of life of our community. As part of the plan, and we heard a lot of discussion on this in the prior workshop, we do identify strategic areas that we want to focus on as a town for development to, again, make sure we do things in a balanced way, protect our quality of life. We've got many different interests and views in our community of what we should be, what we shouldn't be, and we know we're never going to make everyone happy, but we try to keep that balance. And that's, again, the theme of this big, beautiful document, as I call it. Our committee that's been part of this for a year, led by Chairman Eichman, Bobby's also, Mr. Grasso has also been a part of it. It's a diverse group of community members. Everybody comes with a different perspective, different thoughts, and we share ideas and thoughts to make sure that everybody is heard. We're representing the community. Everybody on the committee represents their neighbors, not just themselves. So we're working on the finishing touches. We've got the executive summary we're working on, as well as an implementation chapter. And right now, we're hoping to be able to present this to the board at our March meeting, the end of March, God willing. So it's coming along nicely. It's a lot of reading and work that goes into this, but I think when everybody sees it, they'll appreciate the content. It's really, I couldn't be happier with the way it's coming out, so.
Thanks for all the hard work.
Yeah, thank you for all the hard work. I knew it was a bear to tackle, and we are very fortunate that to have you to do that, so thank
We've had a great, I know Chairman Eichman would agree with me on this, we've had a great committee that has just worked so
That
well
helps,
together.
Yes. Yes, thank you. Thank you, and thank you, Chairman Eichman. Okay, Clerk, anything to add?
March 27th is going to be a bad meeting with all the stuff you keep adding.
Well, you're going to have to keep track of it all. You're going to have to keep track of it all now, aren't you?
We got it.
Okay. So with that, our next town board meeting is February 13th, 2025. And do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned. Thank you.